Hello, everyone. I think you know who I am by now, but if you don't, it is Robert Landau, Live Life Well TV host. This is another episode of a fun trivia program that has a new episode at the beginning of each and every week, and we call this one True or False. So the title of the show implies exactly what you got to do as we go along. Decide if these wild and crazy trivia questions happen to be, yeah, you got it, true or false. Here we go with the first one. It goes like this. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the electric light bulb, was afraid of the dark. True or false? True. Edison was indeed afraid of the dark. Here's the next one, true or false. Billy the Kid was not really a kid. He was actually 43 years old when he died in a gunfight. True or false? The answer to that question happens to be false, and here's why. Billy the Kid was only 19 or at best 20 years old when he died in a gunfight with, you remember who? Sheriff Pat Garrett. Here's the next one for you. President William H. Taft had a cow at the White House that provided milk for his family and guests. True or false? The answer to that one actually is true. Taft did indeed have a cow at the White House. As part of a cost-cutting program, Pauline the cow provided milk for everyone at the White House. Next true or false question goes like this. The first barcode to ever be scanned was on a pack of Wrigley's chewing gum. True or false? The answer to that happens to be true. The very first barcode was scanned on a pack of Wrigley's gum on June 26, 1794. Now, they are everywhere. Next up is this. The electric chair was invented by a dentist. True or false? The answer happens to be true, and here's why. A dentist by the name of Dr. Alfred Southwick invented the electric chair in 1881. Apparently, his dental practice happened to have been going through a bit of a slump, so dear Dr. Southwick had too much time on his hands. Kind of interesting where your mind goes when you have too much time on your hands, and in his case, it went south. And that is when he invented the electric chair. Again, the year was 1881. Not sure I would have liked to have gone to the dentist in 1881. Never mind the electric chair. Here's the next one. Walt Disney developed the technology of videotape recording in the early 1930s. True or false? The answer to that one is false. Even though Disney was truly a creative genius, TV wasn't even around much in the 1930s, to say the least, so there would be no need for videotape. That came much later. At the time, Disney was way too busy producing a little ditty nobody's ever heard of before called Snow White. Here's the next one for your true or false consideration. Pez the name of the popular candy treat that comes in the cool character dispensers, is actually short for a German word meaning peppermint. What do you think? True or false? The answer to that is actually true. Pez is short for pfefferminz. Say it with me. Ready? Pfefferminz. P-F-E-F-F-E-R-M-I-N-Z. Pfefferminz. Try to say that fast 5 times. But pfefferminz in German, whether you can say it fast 5 times or not, means peppermint. Next up is this. A large serving of movie theater popcorn has more calories than 5.5 McDonald's cheeseburgers. True or false? You probably guessed the answer to that one. True. Why? A large popcorn at the theater not only is equivalent to all of that, but also has more calories than 4 scrambled eggs, 4 strips of bacon, and 4 sausages. Buttered popcorn, anyone? Maybe you, not me, not me. Here's the next one for you. Pound cake got its name in England, where it was developed because the cake used to cost £1 to purchase. True or false? Believe it or not, the answer to that one happens to be false, and here's why. Pound cake actually comes from 18th century Europe, where the recipe was created. At the time, it called for a pound of flour, a pound of sugar, a pound of eggs, and a pound of, starts with a B, butter. The original cake was more than twice the size of what we make the common pound cake into now. Next up is this. The fortune cookie was invented in the United States and not in China. True or false? What do you think? The answer happens to be true. The debate is out, folks, as to whether the fortune cookie was created at the Ben Kyodo Bakery in San Francisco or at the Hong Kong Noodle Company in LA, but either way, that prized cookie with the fortune inside does not come from China. Next up is this. The oldest soft drink in the United States is Pepsi Cola. True or false? What do you think? If you said false, what other soft drink do you think might truly be the oldest soft drink in the U.S.? And if you said true that the oldest soft drink in the United States is Pepsi Cola, it's actually false. Believe it or not, the first soft drink in the USA was Dr. Pepper, and it was created in 1885, a year before another one by the name of Coca-Cola came on the scene. Pepsi came along in 1883, but get this, generic root beer beat them all, being introduced in the good old USA in 1876. How about this? You ready? A ripe cranberry will bounce like a tiny basketball. True or false? The answer to that happens to be true. A ripe cranberry, if it's ripe, should indeed bounce like a basketball. Next time you see a ripe cranberry, give it a try. Let me know what happens. Next up, the Academy Awards, or Oscars, were first televised on March 19th, 1953. True or false? What do you think? The answer happens to be true. The ceremony in 1953 was held at the RKO Pantages Theater in Hollywood, and guess who was the host? The one and only Bob Hope. So, what are the Academy Awards or Oscars honoring? And it's not a true or false question. Do you know? You probably do. Excellence in film. What do the Tony Awards honor? Excellence in Broadway theater. And the Grammys, what do they honor? What do those awards honor? Recordings, music, CDs. Next up, and actually it is the final question, and it goes like this. Dwight Eisenhower was the first U.S. president to appear on television. What do you think? True or false? The answer happens to be false. The first U.S. president to appear on TV was actually FDR, and the date when he did so was April 30th, 1939. He was speaking at the opening of the New York World's Fair. So with that said and done, this has been Robert Landau, Live Life Well TV host, with another episode of True or False. See you next week.